Welcome to another video. I'm simply doing on the internet. I just look at shit coins and not none of this is financial advice. So yeah, let's go over some of the pulse chain ecosystem coins. Show me your coins in the chat box if you want me to take a look at them. I'm just gonna go through some of the more popular ones as people start coming into the stream. So firstly, we'll start off with pulse chain, and if we pull up the RSI, now this is the daily chart. Let's quickly start on the larger time frames. Let's see if we had bullish divergence. That was 33. So this was a little bit higher. There's no bullish divergences here on the 3-day chart, but this is. Give me 1 second. This RSI is pretty low for the 3-day chart. If we go into the weekly, this printed 1 to 3 weeks ago. The RSI is literally right at the bottom down there. So, I mean, there's lots of upside for the weekly chart. It's just printed recently. So, pretty good. I won't say it's bullish because I don't know, lots of things can happen here. We can still see some sell-offs, but there's lots of room to go to the upside. And we're pretty much a reset, right? Now, if we go to the daily, there are some concerning things on the daily. We are starting to form some bearish divergences on this chart. This is weak bearish divergence. We can see the RSI from here when this was the relief rally. Some would say this was a dead cat bounce, all the way to where we're currently at. This is weak bearish divergence, as it's literally 40.83 and 40.84. Okay, so it's actually not bearish divergence because we didn't get to the 0.84 on the RSI. You can see the reading over here. So that's good to see, although it's pretty high, the RSI already. But on the shorter time frames, this is bearish divergence. As we can see, price going lower, yet the RSI is going higher. That's 40.83, 39. So this could possibly come down and retest these lower levels. Hopefully, no, that doesn't happen, right? If we put on the stochastic RSI, it's pretty much, this is where there's supposed to be lots of momentum. We can chill here for quite a while, but this might want to reset and come down to the oversold areas, which is not great. Let's look at Pulse X. Down on the day 1%. I mean, it's still pretty darn low. The highest point here is 36.48, 36.95, so no bearish divergences there. Still just chugging along sideways. Look at the 3-day. Still going lower. No bullish divergences to speak of just yet. Let's look at the weekly. Printed at 7.46. Incredibly oversold on the weekly, all the way down here. Just lots of room to the upside. I mean, this is good to see for the remainder of the bull run. There's an incredible room to the upside if this decides to go up, which we all expect it to do, right? That's Pulse X. Let's see the value versus Pulse quickly. Still losing value versus Pulse. It's now came all the way down and has eaten that entire tail. Now, wicks and tails like to be eaten. The tail is on the bottom, the wick is at the top, and this has now been totally consumed or eaten. Oversold on the daily finally. Let's look on the 3J chart. Still coming down, lots more room to go downwards versus Pulse, right? So, and I mean on the weekly, it's not even just below 50%. This is EHEX. I mean, this has already broken out of these levels. This is extreme bearish divergence here. I mean, it's going lower. Prices are. That's bearish divergence. Let's switch to see what the prices of the two hexes are doing against each other. Just moving sideways here. Let's quickly look at hex on Ethereum. Now, this is the Ikimoku cloud, a little bit more complicated. But if we put on the line chart, you're starting to create a nice little W here, although it hasn't broken out yet. We are above the first moving average, the red one up here. I should probably change the color because you can't see it at all. Still below the slower moving average. Confirmed buy with this is if the blue and the green in this case crosses. The last time this happened was back here before we ran all the way from 2 cents to 12 cents. Hasn't crossed yet. Still got ways to go. Generally, when you get inside of the cloud, it likes to move to the top of the cloud. If we do get inside of the cloud, it's still a while to see what happens. This is going to continue coming down. So that is hex on Ethereum. Let's look at hex on Pulse Chain quickly. Just going to remove everything. This is the weekly scale. Very, very oversold, which is good to see. The daily chart. I mean, this has actually confirmed the bullish divergence because we've closed this 42, 42.75. Where are we now? 42.66. 60. So we're back inside of the, but technically this has confirmed bullish divergences. This is what you want to see for a reversal. Let's see what it looks like versus Pulse Chain. This is Hex versus Pulse, so P Hex versus Pulse. This is not where value is at for if you want to swap some Pulse for Hex. Generally, you'd be selling your Hex, your P Hex for Pulse Chain here if you are a shorter, right? But that's risky. You need to know how to manage your risk. Let's see where most of the volume was traded. People are spam calling me. Point of control, most of the volume was traded down here. So, and value, the reload zone is also in this area here. This is generally where professionals take their longs in these green boxes, and we are way overextended. Not interesting up here at all. The incentive token, this chart looks like death. It's just down. Although we are forming some higher lows on the RSI while making lower lows, that is a bullish divergence forming, but not confirmed unless we break above these levels. I wouldn't, Jazz, I don't know if, unless we start seeing higher lows, something like this, where this low is defended by this low, it just means a higher low and a breakout above this level. That would be a confirmed buy. So we have location. Location is just if you are oversold or inside of this box. Now we've made new lows, so we are inside of it and below it. The location is good. You have indicator confirmation, but it's not confirmed yet, which is just a fancy way of saying the indicator is going higher, yet the prices are still going lower, right? You can see the prices are still going lower. So you've got location, and we don't have market structure yet. So it's a little bit too early to start buying incentive token. If you're farming it, that's fine. I do farm on the Pulse X and on the PHUX ecosystem. So I get rewarded Pulse X, and then I compound my gains, my reward tokens into the PHUX pool. So I'm exposed to it like 5% of that RH Maxi pool is 5% is incentive token. So I'm technically exposed to it. I mean, if we look on the weekly, this RSI is the lowest of any of the tokens. Now, when the bull run comes and people want to get into the farms, they're gonna, especially the better paying farms, they're gonna need the incentive token. So you might catch a bit there. Maybe there's more fundamentals coming for this coin, maybe a use case, but I don't know. Generally, these incentive tokens of all farming tokens tend to be sold down. So that's what it's meant to do. So I don't know if I would buy just yet, unless we start seeing like really good higher lows on the chart, like and moving sideways like for a long time, and we start defending these levels. That would be an indication to maybe get some, right? You start breaking these highs and start closing above them. That would be, it's going to be a technical trade. You're going to have to watch the charts, but not yet. This is PHUX. This is the reward token for the Fox ecosystem. Now, we don't want to look at it versus USD value, but if you are looking at in USD value, you're finally getting into value on these areas. And these are you need to look for coins like these that are in these areas, but we want more pulse, right? You always want to outperform the native token. In our case, it's Pulse Chain. So we switch the price to view it in Pulse. And this is overextended up here. Overextended is probably not the right word, because the RSI, your momentum indicators are probably, starting to reset. You don't have location, so I'm still selling my PHUX for Pulse, for the Pulse chain coins that are cheap, because it is technically overvalued versus Pulse chain here. Good morning, Exicans. Glad to be here. What's up, Mahmoud? Finbear, how are you, dude? I'm gonna actually add you as a moderator. There you go, dude. This is Kek, the token that I founded. That was the PLS ecosystem, or value versus PLS. This is what you tend to want to look for. If we just pull up the fib tool here, we've bounced off the 61.8. It's been you can see how much this area has acted as resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, then eventually breaking out. And you would expect these areas to hold the support. And we've wicked into it a few times and bounced off it again. I do expect this to roll over because the indicators still a little bit high. I removed the wrong one there. And yeah, I should have stepped in here to get some more, but I'm waiting for a little bit lower prices. Maybe the 78.6 level. It's the blue line here to get some more. And technically these are lower highs. If we extend this, I think this is acting as resistance. Yeah, I wanted to get into this box. Let's give it some more time to consolidate. On the 3-day, it's not incredibly high, but it's like, it's not cheap enough for me. Then the weekly is a little bit concerning. It's very high on the RSI. It never got oversold on the weekly. This just gives you an idea of when they're down here, like incentive token, Pulse X and Pulse, that's when we should be interested. And the weekly chart, that's a little bit high, right? This is not valuable up here. I do love Cake, obviously because I founded it. So yeah, let's go to Wrapped Pulse. And we'll look at the DAI ecosystem after this because everybody and their mom is looking at it right now, right? That's generally when you should be concerned, right? It doesn't mean it can't perform well. Just the retail isn't right all the time. Generally, they're wrong most of the time. And when everybody is screaming about a certain coin, I'm a little bit concerned. This is Wrapped BTC. It's just been tagging along. I mean, just moving sideways in this area. Not really valuable. And I'm going to disregard that massive wick. Just above the overall value area. So yeah, it's not valuable here. You need to wait for it to get down into these areas. And let's see where most of the volume was traded on this thing. Very low down there. We should probably use the whole range because lots of selling happening here. Unless we get above this 1.36 million area, it's going to keep on getting oversold or sold down from this area. Let's look at the DAI ecosystem for you guys. It's probably the highest traded volume coins. Yeah, they're all on the top here. So yeah, let's pull up a few of them. See if you can see this. Yeah. So DAI versus Rapid Pulse. We want to view these things in Rapid Pulse. These are lower highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high. I mean, this looks much better than versus the USD value. Do we have no bearish divergences really to speak of? But generally, this is the nosebleed section, right? You don't have the location. We'll just put on the log chart. This is the nosebleed section. You should have been getting it down here. That is where value is at. It came down, like literally retested these areas down here. That was the previous breakout point or place where it found resistance. Now it's come down to retest that areas. I'm pretty impressed that the RSI is this low. I would have thought that it would be oversold because if you look at it versus the USD value, this is bearish divergences. You can see price is higher or price is going lower, yet the indicator is going higher. I just put it up there. You can see the slanted. Yeah, that's bearish divergences on the USD value, but versus pulse chain is pretty much more important because there's your downtrend. Yeah, at the end of the day, the value is not here. Everybody will be screaming about it up here. I can't be interested, and the granny investor can't be interested up here. She wants to make more PLS, and for her to get her first double is all the way up here at 60. Doesn't mean it can't go there. It just means it would need to do a lot for me to get its first double. I want to buy down markets. I should have been getting it down here, but I probably wasn't at Yeah, I should have gotten it here. Shouldn't make excuses. That was 8, so your first double would have been at 16, which was still inside of the reload zone. That was very valuable to get it there. Not now. I mean, from 8 to 16 and then 32, you would have gotten 2 doubles already on this coin. Tripled your pulse and you'd have a, or double your pulse position and you would still have a free position in this coin. So that's DAI versus PLS. This is the two different pools. Both have together have 450,000 liquidity. Itropa versus Pulse Chain, only 22k liquidity. This the contract admin keys were renounced. Let's pull up the RSI here. Now we can't swap to USD value, swap to Pulse. Always want to view it versus Pulse. Now this is higher. Is the price higher? Yeah, the price is higher. Unfortunately, we don't have that much history. But just from a location perspective, this has already left your value zone, right? Once again, doesn't mean it can't go up higher here. It's just a little bit risky buying it in the nosebleed section. Let's look on shorter time frames. Maybe we can get a clearer view of what's going on there. So yeah, this is because we made a new high, that bearish divergence has been disregarded. On the 12-hour, you're starting to get oversold here. Once again, doesn't mean it can't go higher. It's just not valuable up here. But that is why everybody is talking about it right now, right? When it's already left the station. Your professionals, they're getting it down here and in these areas down here. We can see volume, nice volume spike here. Yeah, I need to, for my rules to be adhered to, I need to wait for this to come down. So I need to let this go, right? Most of the volume was traded down here, and you can see how that wick came nicely into it. So that is Atropa. Teddy Bear, all the rage currently. It's part of the Atropa ecosystem. This is at the top, right? Doesn't mean this is the top, you know what I mean? This is high here. We want it in these areas down here. Let's look at the pulse. SwiftX, what's up, dude? I'm glad you can be here. Hex Majested, good morning, dude. Sorry if I butchered your name. This is a hammer candle. This forms at the top of an uptrend. You can see the massive wick and the small tail and the body being small as well. So you can see lots of selling pressure coming in here. I switched it to, let's switch it back to pulse. Let's pull up the RSI here and see what the momentum is telling us. Very, very oversold, right? Right at the top of the RSI. Most of the volume was traded down here. How many zeros is that? 4 zeros, 1, 3. So that is your point of control. Let's see where the value is. It's also, so you've got some confluence here. Confluence is you get all of these lines to line up. Yeah, nosebleed sections, we need to wait for it to get down here if we are interested in this coin. Very oversold. Everybody and their mom is talking about this. Retail is never right. Just always remember that. Retail is never right. And we can also see some lines, some more confluence here. This was your breakout level, acted as resistance once. We can call those 3 wicks rejections as well. Finally broke out, came to retest it twice, and then off you went. So yeah, market likes to retest these areas. This is going to act as strong support. Wait for the RSI to come down. Don't chase these things, right? Wait for it, be patient. Eventually everything does come down. It might not seem like it's going to be happening now, but generally it does. Otherwise, there would be many other coins that only go up, but everything eventually comes down. It's just the way that markets work. It's the ebb and flow of the market. TW, it's a pleasure, bro. If there are any other coins you guys want me to take a look at, please put it in the chat, because I'm looking for some cool coins myself. Okay, so that was Teddy Bear. Now I don't know how to pronounce this MV thing. Only 4.5k liquidity, and this is a down only. I don't know if this has anything to do with iTropa. I think it does, because I see people tagging this with iTropa and Teddy Bear and Die. That chart doesn't look nice, right? And the 4.5 liquidity. USDC and all of those other things, they're just keeping up with DAI, because they get arbed between each other. As soon as one is higher than the other, someone will mint new. I think it's like that. You can mint new DAI and then sell it on the market to bring it down. I mean, there's lots of weird coins here. This scissors as well. Maybe this is also Atropa. Don't know. This has just been slammed down into, it's starting to make higher lows. Does anyone know if this scissors is part of the Hydropa ecosystem? Oh, it's only 400 liquidity. I think this was a rug pull. Yeah, let's just ignore that. Let's sort this by the amount of liquidity that's available. Oh, here's the Itropa and Die. So this is a thicker pair. And we can't really look at it versus Pulse, because it doesn't trade against Pulse, it trades against PDI. If we look at it versus PDI, we can see if PDI or Itropa is valuable here. Which one is valuable? So you're getting 6 Itropa for 1 die. Am I saying that right? So if you do hold die, it's not in value either way, it's left the area of value. So a little bit, getting a little bit technical into the ratios. We don't have to do that. Yeah, I mean, on the daily, it's no real threat here, but it has currently already left the station. So while we were streaming, some selling pressure coming into the market. Like I said, a little bit of a bearish divergence here on Pulse. If we go to Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin's still moving sideways, so it's not that. It's just normal profit taking happening here. I mean, Beats, that is the anonymous bridge, right? I sacrificed for this, sold up here, told everybody when I was selling. It's just moving sideways versus PLS here. We pull up the RSI. Tin top, what's up, dude? Just moving sideways, just consolidating. I mean, the longer this moves sideways, the better. I think this is a reflection token. So these reflection tokens tend to do a bump and then an everlasting dump. I think they have a buy and burn. Some of the fees goes to burn this coin. Technically in value, right? hitting the 78.6 level. I mean, these are the type of charts that we should be interested in. It's just not the prettiest up here. I mean, on the short term, it's a little bit overvalued. This looks like it wants to break out because as soon as it breaks above this level, that would be a confirmed double bottom or a W, like I like to call it. But the RSI isn't pretty. It's pretty high here. Let's look at PayPay. I think catching a little bit of the Ethereum FUD because the foundation sold some of it on the market. I mean, these are type of things that we should be interested. It's down and out, right? Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's interested in this anymore. You're starting to create higher lows. That was the lowest low there. You're starting to create higher lows. If we look at the RSI, not pretty. It's pretty high, but it's not oversold. I mean, it's not at the extremes at all. It's just going to continue chugging along here, maybe getting some here and there, risking a very small percentage, and then just waiting for the bull market. I'm pretty sure if Pepe starts running again in the future on Ethereum, it will catch a bit on Pulse Chain as well. Little low liquidity, just 6k liquidity. There's probably more on other exchanges, not quite sure. Shiba Inu, the same with SHIB. This will catch a bid when SHIB does run, and Shiba Inu looks really, really good on Ethereum. I mean, on the larger time frames, you are still just hanging on to where value is at. But on the shorter time frames, this has kind of already run. And I would like for it for cheap prices because the granny loves cheap prices. She would want it in this area down here. Let's pull up the momentum. Pretty high, right? It's chilling above the 50%. Do we have bearish divergences? Not really, because that wick was higher there. Yeah, I would want this to come down a little bit more before I get interested in this. PTS is the DEX aggregator coming down hard now versus USD. Still have higher lows here. I bought back here because I sold this tippy top here. Yeah, and I'll just continue getting more if this goes lower. I mean, hopefully these higher lows hold. Otherwise, look down below. It's going to go much lower. The RSI, I mean, you've been creating bullish divergences all the way down here as the indicator is going higher, but price is moving lower. It's already confirmed as it's broken out above this level. With all of these things, you want them just to keep on holding those lows and just slowly create market structure or higher lows, and then eventually you can go. This is accumulation, right? People are slowly accumulating their positions down here. Volume pretty high still. More buying volume than selling volume. Good liquidity, and there's more on PHUX. 4 million market cap. I mean, market cap doesn't really matter. Except to retail. Where did the ETH go? This is gonna probably have a farm where 9-inch eventually launches from Exibastard. This is part of the Poor Bleb and the 9-inch ecosystem. So it's probably going to get a bid. And this is, I should get some, I should really get some. I did get an airdrop, but the airdrop was negligible. I should get some when we get to this line. You can just see it's been defending these lows pretty well. And if we put on the line chart, you can just see all of these W's on the chart. And that is that sideways movement you want to see. The only concerning thing is we're slap bang in the middle of the RSI. Would have loved to have seen it a little bit lower. Let's see where most of the volume was traded on. Where did the ETH go? Yeah, we're slap bang inside of the point of control. It's already bounced off it today. Yeah, and I should really get some. If you do want to see what I'm buying and the little old lady's style of investing, what and when I'm selling, do check out the link in the description down below. Get the ebook and there's also an Instagram or a Telegram chat and also what I'm buying and selling if you're interested in that. It's just a once-off payment in crypto or cash. It's 50% off if you pay in crypto. And it's far cheaper than anything else the hexagons are selling you. So yeah, do check it out if you're interested in that. Where did the pulse? I should nibble some here when it gets down to my buy zone. It's been holding up really well, impressively, but I'm expecting it to go lower. So that's why I'll only risk a little bit and get some more when we go lower. Poor pleb. Let's look at poor pleb quickly. Spent a little bit of time inside of the reload zone, bouncing off the golden ratio currently. The stop line is the 61.8, the golden ratio. You can see how powerful this level is. This has obviously been here for a while, and you can just see how it's bouncing off that level, respecting it. Technically, the granny can get some here if she wanted to. Yeah, it's now come down to retest this breakout level. So technically you are in value versus pulse chain. It can go lower. So granny will have more if it does go a little bit lower. Poor pleb. Let's look at THRH. Thank you, Richard Hart token. So if I'm not mistaken, I know there was a little bit of an exploit. If I got the right information, go just quickly check that out on Twitter. Now everybody and their mom was screaming about it up here, right? And it's come all the way down, like everything else does eventually do. Let's see where the point of control was. Almost got to it. Nice little wick here. Let's look at momentum. So it hasn't been this low yet. Now nobody's talking about it right now. I know there's a sacrifice ongoing, but I don't like the fact that it's going to be launching on. It's THCZ. Thank you, CZ from Binance, and it's going to be launching on Binance chain. I'm frankly not interested at all. But a lot of the supply has obviously been removed because you can sacrifice this coin. Now you need to pay a 20% tax on this and a 10 or 11% sell tax, which is a little bit steep because I want to sell half when it doubles. That would mean that I would need to sell at like 140% just to take into consideration those buy and sell taxes. A little bit too complex for me and a little bit high. It does burn ecosystem coins, which is cool. But yeah, that is where you should be interested if you are interested. But then again, you need to actually measure where you are 20% up because you're going to need to pay that tax. So your actual entry is going to be this level. 111. Now let's see if that is inside of the reload zone. Yeah, it's still inside of the reload zone. When value was down here, that's where you should have been interested in this. In THRH. Now once again, I don't hate these coins and I don't date them, right? I simply just trade them. I sell them when it gets me a double in my pulse chain. And that's how we're accumulating pulse chain over time. This is Hex Orange address. And if you are going to hate these coins, I mean, just let's just rather join them, right? Wait for them to be into value, and just get like $5 or $10 or a very small percentage of your overall portfolio, something like less than 1% of your portfolio, just to be part of the discussion, right? Hex origin address new lows, RSI little bit above the 50% area. I would like to get this a little bit lower. We can see some confluence in these areas. This was the breakout level. You can see the beautiful little W there, or higher lows. And then the breakout, the retest. Then we can also see where most of the volume was traded. So you started to get some confluence in these areas, right? And then again, we can also pull up the reload zone and see that that box is inside of our reload zone. That is called value. This is where value is at. Not up here. This is the nosebleed section. I would really like to get some down here just to be part of the meme. It doesn't mean I'm going to throw in my whole bag, my whole portfolio. No, just going to get a little bit. And sell off into PLS as we go higher. This is going to do 10,000 X's. I'd be happy with a 500X in my pulse as I sell doubles all the way up. I think I've pretty much looked at everything. So if there's anything else you guys want me to take a look at, let's look at time maybe. Time is KG's project. Let's swap to Rapid Pulse because we want to outperform Pulse. And this is outperforming Pulse, right? I can't be interested up here. It's not early, that's late. No real bearish divergences to speak of. This was the breakout level. That's where we should have been getting it. And we've unfortunately missed the boat on this one. Its RSI is coming down nicely. There's no real divergences to speak of, which would be bearish. But this is the nosebleed section. It doesn't mean it can't go higher. I just can't get it here because my first double would be up here. And that's a long way to go for me to be in profits. Have I looked at PRS? No. Let's look at PRS view. So time, just to summarize, not really excited about it just yet. So PRS, this is the largest liquidity pair. You can see I've looked at it previously. Now let's just swap to Rapid Pulse because we want more pulse and we want this to outperform pulse. Now already you can see it has already left the station, right? Unfortunately, we've missed this one. Is this also a reflection token, right? It earns you more pulse, I think. You can see how important this 61.8 level was. Acted as resistance. Resistance. Finally broke through, came to retest it, and off we went. Pretty sure if we look at the RSI. Excuse me, I'm talking a lot. Pretty high. This price is going higher, yet the momentum is going down. This is called bearish divergence, right? As there is a divergence between the momentum and the price. As the price is going higher, yet the momentum is going lower. This is bearish divergence. This is not where value is at. This is called the nosebleed section. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. It just means that it needs to go all the way up to a cent, or this is 0.01 ETH, or Rapid Pulse, excuse me, for my double to be in. I mean, this is pretty, you guys hear me repeating these things over and over again, like unbiasedly looking at this thing. It's overextended up here. I would need for it to get down here for me to be interested, right? Fixed weekly, see where most of the volume is traded. You can start to see some confluence here. The red line down here, this is where most of the volume was traded. So these guys are almost 5x up on their position, right? So yeah, quick summary, not in value, overextended, bearish divergences. This is going to come pull back. And this is the area where I would be interested down here. Let's look at PSN. Mr. Conrad's in. 18k liquidity. This is the main pair. Swap to rapid pulse because we want more pulse. We need to outperform pulse. This has left the station, right? Performing well. I can't chase it up here. I need to wait for it to come down to at least my reload zone. And if we pull up the volume traded, we can see slap bang inside of our reload zone. This is the nosebleed section. It's left the station. I'd be selling off on the double up here if I got down on here, because most of the volume was traded at 8 and these guys are up at 2x, so starting to take profits here. Let's look at the indicators. RSI very high, no bearish divergences to speak of just yet, as price is making higher highs and the indicator itself is also making higher highs, but doesn't mean it can't stop here. Maybe it has one more hoorah that would maybe the RSI comes a little bit down and it makes a lower high while the price makes a higher high, something like this, a little bit down and then up. That would be your bearish divergences there, but you're oversold. You've left where value is at. Can't be chasing up here. The granny will be waiting down here patiently for this, and I'm gonna put on this on my watch list so I can see it when it comes down. RH token is another. What is that RH token? What is the ticker, dude? What is the ticker symbol? If you can give me the ticker symbol, I can look at that RH token. Is that THRH, which you're talking about? Probably is that one. Wrap pulse, we've looked at Link, Uni. Now all of these PRC20 tokens will eventually get their day. Curve token, don't know if this is part of the iTropa vibe. Very low liquidity, but I mean this is left the station. It's not interesting at all up here. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a minute or two to show me a few more coins, and if there's nothing more to show, I'm gonna finish this video. This has already been 50 minutes. So yeah, do click the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe and check out the ebook in the description down below if you're interested to know how I trade these things, what I sell, what I buy. And there's cool chat rooms as well, where you can request tokens for me to take a look at, where I show what I'm buying, what I'm selling, what I sacrificed for. We sacrificed for Piteous. We got our double in Piteous. We sacrificed for Fame, which is going to be releasing pretty soon. It's part of the PHUX ecosystem. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. Remember, always play from a position of strength, and please don't get wrecked. We just need to sit out the next 2 years and not destroy ourselves, right? And these coins can destroy you if you don't know how to manage your risk, right? And you can learn all that in the link in the description down below. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers for now, and bye-bye.